And Seattle police have released new body cam footage from the night an officer hit and killed a woman with his police cruiser going over 60 miles an hour. Now, the woman, Jaahnavi Kandula, a 23-year-old grad student, died at the hospital that night. She was crossing the road in the city's South Lake Union neighborhood back in January. The posted speed limit there is supposed to be 25 miles an hour. Now, this new body cam footage from another officer talking about that horrible crash a little after it happened, and a warning: what you're about to hear may be disturbing.
I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead.
That laughter there has gotten a lot of people's attention. The Seattle Police Department released the video after an employee raised concerns. The Department of Police Accountability says it's looking into it, and NBC News has reached out to the officers in the video and their union for comment, but we haven't heard back. Joining us now is NBC News correspondent Steve Patterson. Steve, so what else is on this video, and why is it being released now?
Yeah, so it's being released by Seattle Police, as you mentioned, because of this whistleblower. This is really the only reason why we know anything about this. Apparently, according to a statement Seattle Police released, said that this was an employee just doing their job and in the course of the routine work heard this conversation. It's a one-sided conversation inside that police cruiser, recorded on a body cam that was apparently the officer didn't know was on or left it on beyond the scope of the time that he was supposed to be conducting what he was doing on scene. The employee hears this, they flag it up the pole, essentially to the chief's office, and then because it's now in the accountability office, it has to be released to the public, and that's how we're able to hear it. What's on it, Gotti? I mean, it sounds awful, right? It sounds like a blatant disregard for human life, for the badge, for sense and sensibility, for protecting and serving, which is the oath that police officers take. But that's just how it sounds. I want to play another section of it, which pertains to put a price on this woman's life after she was killed. Listen to this.
No, it's a regular person. Yeah, just write a check. Just, yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
Now, it's important to say that this is one half of a two-sided conversation. We only hear one voice. He's talking to somebody else. This is a few seconds of a clip that could well be taken out of context. That is what the investigation is focused on. What is the context of what he's saying? Because there has been a statement released from this officer since this has all happened to say that no, what he was actually doing was mocking a conversation that would happen between two attorneys, sort of putting a price on her life, in essence showing the injustice that he believes would come from a situation this tragic. But this is his word. It is still early, and Gotti, it is still under investigation. Back to you.
Steve, what can you tell us about the officer that we hear talking there?
Yeah, this is Daniel Otterer. He is a drug recognition officer, so he's on scene there. This recording that you're hearing is a day after this has all happened. He arrives on scene to essentially drug test the officer who strikes this woman. And in doing so, sort of figures out in part of the investigation whether or not that officer was impaired. But he's also the vice president of the Seattle Police Officer Association Guild, which is one of the most powerful, essentially, police unions in all of the Pacific Northwest. He's on the other line, according to a document that was obtained by people looking into the investigation by a Michael Salon, who is the president of that guild. So these are two high-ranking people within a guild of officers representing thousands of police officers on the street. It's part of the reason why people are so worried about that department. Gotti?
Wait, so the person on the line, do you mean the person on the phone with him? We know who that was?
Yes, we do. It is Michael Salon. He's the president of the Seattle Police Officer Guild. We haven't gotten a statement. We've, of course, reached out to both parties. We're waiting on a response. And we don't know what was said on the other end of that line. I think that's so important to say as we're sort of digging into the context of all this, and part of what will, of course, be under investigation as this continues. Gotti.
Incredibly important. Steve Patterson, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.